There we go. So just recording. Amazing. Okay. So I hope you can see the first slide that we've got up. Global Social Leaders Summer Catalyst at Home. If we refer to Global Social Leaders as GSL, that is the acronym. So I don't want to throw you off with that. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us. Today we are really excited to discuss with you our online program that has been fully funded by Innovate UK. Given just this time, it's just really nice to have something that is designed for socially active and creative young people to take part in a leadership online program. We're going to talk more about the aims and the outcomes. So at the moment, I'd just like to hand over to our CEO, John, who will take you in a bit more details about who we are and what we're about.
Thank you, Noor, and a big warm welcome to you, the parents. So big thank you for coming and giving your time, but also for supporting your child to participate in this program this summer. We are Future Foundations, and I'm the chief exec, and we are an award-winning training organisation that run a whole wide range of programs. We've been going for over 15 years, and we do programs for government. We've worked with different organisations such as McKinsey and Amazon Web Services to do programs in schools all around the country. And many years ago, we created Global Social Leaders as a global movement to bring young people together, to meet, to connect, to understand each other, and to prepare them to be leaders in their lives and in society. We've been running a global 2-week summit every year for the last 8 years, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we weren't able to run that event. So that's what made us decide to bring GSL online and available to young people. And we're so pleased to have the funding of Innovate UK, which has meant that we can provide this fully funded and free for participants from across the country. So from me, a big warm welcome. And now I'd like to hand over to Katie, who is our partner who co-founded Global Social Leaders with Future Foundations. After the programme, we'll be able to share more about us and other programmes we do. But today we're going to focus on this summer programme opportunity. Katie.
Thank you so much, John, and a massive thank you to all the parents for tuning in. I know how complicated it is at this time of the evening, trying to get children to bed and finish their homework and things like that. So a massive thank you. And we're also thrilled that you're interested in our programme. We absolutely love it. Really believe passionately that it makes a genuine difference in young people's lives, and we're thrilled that your sons and daughters are thinking about and planning hopefully to join us and to join what is genuinely a global movement of young people from 105 different countries around the world. That is Global Social Leaders, and actually do a wonderful course that prepare them actually to connect with those other young people at the end of the course and actually make a positive difference in the world. So find something they're really passionate about and take some meaningful action and make the world better. So teacher, and like John said, co-founded Global Social Leaders 9 years ago. So thanks so much, John.
Thank you, Katie. And just so you know, we're going to be doing a presentation about 15 minutes, then a Q&A, and we'll aim to be finished about 7:30. So here's our vision. It's quite bold, a world led by a global movement of socially conscious leaders. We believe we need to prepare young people now to be leaders in their lives, leaders in society, and help them have youth voice. Especially when we look, I think, around the world and some of the things that we're facing, some of the challenges we're particularly facing. We've been saying this for 9 years. I hope many of you agree that young people, we really need to help them think about how they can make changes in their lives and how they can make changes in their community, and they can take little actions that can have that ripple effect. So I'd now like to share with you the aims of this programme. So this programme is our GSL catalyst. It's to catalyse them into action. It's to help them build their leadership skills, their world of work skills. It was asked in the Q&A already. This is about developing the skills and their confidence. They will be doing different topics, and there'll be debates, but it'll be really about helping them identify what they're passionate about, what difference they want to make in the world, what role they can have in that. And then at the end of the programme, they'll be challenged, and I'm going to share the sort of challenges they're going to be doing, and then they're going to have an invitation to join our global project competition, which follows this. And here's the structure of the program. So first off, they're going to do 5 mornings, which is our Catalyst course. This is a course that we've run in schools all around the world, and then face-to-face. And now we're going to be teaching this online to the young people, 9:45 to 12:45, because we want them to be outside in the afternoons and enjoying their summer outside, but in the morning having great inspiration with peers from all over the country. That's for 5 mornings. Once they've done that, they'll get access to challenges, which I'll explain in a minute, which they'll be able to do in their own time. We'll also be around during the summer to provide them with support and some structure. And then we'll celebrate. I want you to take away from tonight that we want to invite you to the 15th of September 2020. That's the parents, we invite you. We're going to invite your sons and daughters as well. But that's where we're going to celebrate what they've achieved over the summer. We want this program to be inspiring, confidence building, and that we're going to celebrate every young person that participates. This is the course that we're going to be running, and you can see the themes across the days. You're going to get these slides, so if you're busily trying to take notes, well done, but you don't need to, we will send them to you. But as you can see, there's daily themes where the young people will be learning about how do you lead yourselves, how do you identify need in the world, how do you go from a good to a great leader, and then how do you take ideas and turn them into action and then commit to those. And it starts with a 30-day challenge there, which is a very small habit which they will commit to achieving. And it might be as much as helping their family with the washing up, or just doing more at home. Those are some of the feedback we get from parents. They'll write a letter to us or an email saying, you know, I couldn't believe it. My son, daughter came home and did this. In this instance, they'll come downstairs probably, and then we hope get involved in little small steps. So we'll have guest speakers. You saw a line of guest speakers. We are going to be announcing those guest speakers over the coming weeks. And here is one of our guest speakers, which is from the BBC. Vicky is a BBC reporter, and she's going to be teaching the students about podcasting and storytelling and helping them think about how they can get their voice out there. I think right now we don't hear enough young people and what they're thinking. That's what we're going to try and do, and we're going to challenge every one of them to actually broadcast, come up with their own 5-minute broadcast, submit it to us, and if we have permission, we will also be sharing those with the world. These are the sort of challenges. So this is the next phase. They did the 5-day course, the 5 mornings. Then they will get access to our challenges. Our challenges are aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, with a focus on them thinking about how they can help people and planet and take local actions. We're going to be encouraging them to look at different causes and then either pledge to support them, such as fundraising, or raising awareness of an issue that they care about, or setting up their own campaign about an issue that they care about. We'll be supporting them through that, and also we'll be directing them to some of our challenge partners. This is the support that we are providing. So for the weeks that follow the program, we will launch our challenges live. If they can't make that live time, for whatever reason, that's fine. We're going to record that, and then in a password protected space, they can catch up anytime. The core of this program is that they do those 5 mornings. Then they get access to the challenges. It's up to them how many challenges they want to do, and in their own time. And they have anywhere between the end of doing their week 1 up until the 31st of August to share with us which challenges they do and upload the evidence of that they've done. And then every Wednesday during that time, we're also going to be providing some workshops, such as a wellbeing workshop, and around to do Q&As. Once they've done their challenges and submitted them, we will have
I was enjoying listening to you, John. We will have a celebration graduation event. So just as you saw on the program slide that had the 3 phases, we would like you to save the date. Again, this is just another reminder, 15th September from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This is going to be a time where we celebrate the students' journey, where they've arrived and what they've achieved so far, which we're sure is going to be some amazing stuff. In terms of what the young people will receive, they can receive up to several certificates depending on what they've completed. Phase 1 If they complete that, they receive a certificate. And if they complete one or more of the challenges in phase 2, they will receive an additional certificate for each challenge. In terms of the next steps, oh wait, I jumped a slide. Actually, our team. So this is the team that's going to be involved on the program. So you might be getting different emails from different team members. You might be seeing some emails from Jakob, from Amy. You might be listening, chatting to Alice or Ella. So we just kind of wanted to let you know who are the people behind the GSL team supporting your young people. Again, the content will be delivered by our Future Foundation expert facilitators and the guest speakers, which we've just talked about one, but we will let you know in due course about the other guest speakers we have lined up. Now I'd like to hand over to Michelle, one of our team members. She's the operations director and designated safeguarding officer, and she just kind of gives you a bit of an overview about keeping your children safe online.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you all here. I wanted to make sure that you could see me tonight. I am the designated safeguarding officer, and that's obviously something we take very, very seriously with having young people on our programs. I've got 4 years experience of leading this with Future Foundations, and before I was here, I was the principal of an English language school. So I have a good range of experience of working with young people in a variety of contexts. Obviously, being online is something that we've really taken very seriously as well, and looked at how we make sure we do that safely with young people. With all of our programs, we ask young people to sign a code of conduct so that we can be really clear about the expectations from our side. And it allows us then to manage behaviour and keep everyone safe on the programme. We've also asked parents for consent to make sure that you're aware of what we might be asking in terms of any data, where we're sharing it, saving it, and you know, what we're doing with that is important to us as well. We will be talking to young people about how to stay safe online, and we think that's an important part of any online programme. And we'll also be making sure that they understand how they can stay safe, how we'll support them, and what our safeguarding procedures are on the programme as well. So we've also done risk assessments, and so I'm really wanting to reassure you that we are doing everything we can to keep your young person safe while they're on their programme, to support them and make sure that they have a really successful and enjoyable experience with us. My details are on the page as well, so if you did have any specific questions, please do contact me. I'm more than happy to take questions by email, and if anyone's got any serious concerns at any point, there is a way of contacting me, and you've been given our document, or if you've registered your young person, you'll have a document which shows how you can contact me as well. So thanks very much.
Cool, thanks a lot. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, just some other admin stuff that I just wanted to cover with you. I'm not going to go in detail with this, but in terms of attendance, if your young person cannot attend a session, it would be really useful if you send us an email on our social.leaders account. That one's the one that we send all the emails through to you about the updates. And it would just be useful for us to know in terms of attendances. With regards to your young person missing a session, if they have missed a session and you've not informed us, it's just part of our due diligence to send you an email and let you know that your young person has not attended this session. We just hope to see them in the other one, just so you're aware. For the missed sessions, in terms of how many missed sessions, obviously we understand there's circumstances that arise, and some of your young people cannot make certain sessions. We obviously recommend they apply to, or they attend as many as possible. But it just, for us, it is about the journey, it's about the final submission, and it's about the outputs. And we understand this is an online program, so the setup in terms of how you'd like the setup for a young person, obviously we'd like to make it a family space. We'd like them to receive some support from you if you are available. I understand a lot of us are still working from home, but we just wanted that to just reassure you that we want to be a family-friendly space for them to do the course in. And then in terms of additional needs, we have already seen in the consent forms that some of you have notified us that your young people or young person has some additional needs. Michelle and I will be in contact with you next week to follow up with you if you have mentioned that in your parent consent form. In terms of just key information, just to reiterate, what Michelle and John mentioned as well, is that before we officially welcome your young person, we need the parent consent form to be completed, the young person to have read the code of conduct, and there's also the safeguarding policy and procedure document, which Shell has mentioned, that has more information about the safeguarding, how we're keeping Zoom safe for young people, and we've just got all the details as well, which we're going to share up with regards to Michelle's number, John's number, and their emails. Key dates for the 1 week live session. I'm not going to go over them right now because I'm conscious of time. We're going to send you these, but again, just save the date on the 15th of September. Welcome pack and page. This will also be sent to you via email. John, do you want to add anything for this specifically?
No, just to say that will be coming. Once you've done the code of conduct and the parental consent, we'll be sending those out to your young person, and then you'll also be copied in, so parents have a copy of all the information, which will include the timetables and things that you've seen in this presentation today.
Cool.
And so once they've completed the program, I want to just share with you that they will all be invited at graduation to take part in our Global Goals competition. This is a free program that we've been running for a number of years now, which is aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And the aim of it is to develop young people's understanding. So once they've done this catalyst, done some challenges in their own time, when they return to school in September at graduation, we hope when they return to school in September, they will then be able to enter our global project competition, and that runs through to May, and they can work on projects with their peers in their own time. They can also involve other young people who didn't participate in the summer program. So it's a very open program. And as you'll see on the next slide, it's aligned with the UN's global goals. And really they're looking for problems that they can identify that they can fix. Then we encourage them to look at sort of projects that are local, but looking at issues and challenges which are faced around the world. I'm now going to hand over to Katie, who's going to share a little opportunity for yourselves. Katie. Katie might have
Thanks so much, John. So we really believe in actually developing, say again, sorry. Cool. We really believe in developing adults as well as young people. And so really lucky to get the opportunity to work with both the Oxford Character Project, which is an interdisciplinary group based at Oxford University, and the Human Flourishing Programme at Harvard University, to create this programme, which is super accessible, absolutely applicable to everybody, doesn't matter who you are, because we totally believe that everyone can be a leader, and everyone is a leader when they enable other people to be happier and experience more fulfillment and less stress and more enjoyment in their lives. So what we've done is we've put this online program together. It's free of charge, absolutely everybody's welcome, and the more people that do it, the better. And it's just a mixture of some videos and interviews with these lovely people that you can see on the left, a really wonderful diverse group, but some really eminent people in their field, a little bit of reading of stories, and just some comments boxes for you to fill in so you can see what other people think about the ideas as well. It's based on 3 things: know your people, love your people, and inspire your people. So quite simple concepts, but we really hope that you parents will join us for this, so you get a taste of some of the things that we like to do with your young people as well. They're both based on similar lines, similar philosophy. So yeah, do join us for that. Thanks.
Thank you, Katie. So now we get to the fun bits, Q&A, and I'm already seeing a lot of questions and answers coming into our Q&A. I haven't looked at the chat, to be honest. So Shell, I'm hoping you have been looking at that or not. No, I'm sure you have. So I think the best way, John, Shell and Katie, is just to go through the questions in the Q&As or the chat. There's and just cover them. The questions, just so everyone knows I'm answering them. There was initial questions that asked what my children will be doing. I really hope we've answered that question for you earlier during the program timetable. So and we'll resend that to you. So I hope we have answered that question. But in terms of the other questions, my child isn't registered yet. Do they need to register before attending assembly or get the recording? Yes, because they will, if they register and they complete the consent form, the code of conduct, they will receive the link to the assembly. And then if they cannot attend the assembly, we will send them the recording, because we will have their details by email. What are the start and finishing times? So 9:40 during the first week, it's 9:45 till 12:45. And then the following weeks are 10:15 till about 12:30.
Yeah, and that's only sort of the Monday slot is the main slot, and then Wednesday and and in the subsequent weeks that's all optional. And it's a structure that's there if they want that support to dial into.
In terms of how long the sessions will be, I'll send you the timetable breaks down details in terms of if a session is 45 minutes, half an hour, and so forth. So once you receive that presentation, you'll get details for that. Our son may miss the last day. You have travel plans. Cool. No worries. Just let us know. Please send us an email beforehand on the social leaders email, which I'll just put up here. And just let us know the name of your child and what date they're unable to attend.
But they can always, if they can pick a phone, they might be able to tune in on the way on the travelling, and you might get a bit of quiet time on the travelling.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, John. You're right. Headphones. That's it.
Okay. This is the program from home and on travel.
If you attend the first week of online courses, do you have to complete earlier than the 31st of August?
You can submit your challenges and what challenges you do in your own time, and you can submit them earlier. That's just a deadline to get a submission in to say this is what I've done after the program.
Do children of all abilities participate? The answer is yes. And that's why in the parent consent form, we've actually put in a question specifically for that. If you can explain to us what it is that you feel that your child with, which ability you feel that your child has, and then we can follow up, Michelle and I, with regards to what support we can provide your child on the program. How will I know which dates my daughter will be doing the course? All emails that we send to your child you will also receive a copy of it. So you should be able to know and you should receive an update of what date your daughter will be in the course, registered in the course.
And the good news is that we're going to be going out with the confirmation of the dates. I think up until this point, the first choice for every registration is going to be offered. So I'd make the assumption at this point that if they've registered before today, that they're definitely going to get their first choice. After today, though, we will be closing cohort 1 because that is full. And then it'll be new participants as of tomorrow who will be able to choose between 2 and 3. We are trying to give every young person their first choice, so make that assumption unless we tell you otherwise. But we will send an email to say you've been allocated this week. And then if you need to change it, do let us know by emailing us. Preferably don't, but if you do in any circumstances, we can also make that arrangement.
Okay. I'm just looking at I was just trying to group some questions. There's one question that specifically says, one about how to motivate my son to join the program, and how do I describe the course to my son that I can encourage him to do all the sessions? That's a really good question.
I'd say the assembly tomorrow. Try and get him to the assembly tomorrow. So we're going to have Jakob in our team, who'll be there, and that's what our staff are known for. They're known for motivating. In the main, many of our staff are not teachers, and that's not to say, Katie, sorry, but they are there to be inspiring and motivating, and I think, and they'll be known by their first names. This is not school. This is a summer experience that they're going to be opting into. And we really think if they turn up, they will enjoy it, be inspired, and then stay the course. And that's the experience we have from our programs. Once we get them in the room, we do maybe need your help just to get them to maybe watch the assembly or just see a little bit, and then hopefully they will be there.
Cool. how many children are in a session? How do you make sure the quieter ones still contribute to discussions? It's a really good question. In terms of how many are in a session, we're still, our registrations are still open. They're closing tomorrow. So we will have a better idea of how many are in tomorrow for certain weeks, but we're still, sorry?
For cohort 1, the closing.
Cohort 1.
Cohort 2 and 3 continues to be open.
Exactly. But in due course, we will know. And if you're keen to know specifically, I think just a couple of days before the course starts, if you can email us, we can update you with the numbers. The second part of the question is, how do you make sure the quieter ones still contribute to discussions? Didn't answer that one.
I think that's the benefit of actually one of the benefits of digital. That actually what we found is actually sometimes the quieter ones are willing to write something in text, and then we can draw them out from there. And that's also what our staff are trained to do, is almost get them to raise their hands. So we did a festival recently. First question is, what did you have for breakfast? People then write the answer, what they have for breakfast, and then that just warms it up. And it's not just a game. It's not that we are interested in what they have for breakfast, but actually it's about engaging them in the program, doing something safe, and then they increasingly, and I think that will be the output that you'll see from, and that's where I saw someone said that their child is shy. I think that's exactly how this program can really help, because as soon as they care about an issue, they want to talk about it, and we're going to be giving them training and skills and confidence and creating a safe space. And I actually do think some of the tools that we've got with digital will actually enable us to choose and select and bring people in and allow them to talk, allow them to have that voice.
The session tomorrow should be 45 minutes as well. It could go up to 50 minutes, depending obviously on how many questions and how many people want to stay on. If your child has a school assembly at 10, that should be fine. What types of projects will be implemented by participants?
It's a good question. So I want to make a distinction between the challenges and projects. So the projects that will come will be if they enter our global project competition that runs from September right through to May. And those projects, there's hundreds of those projects examples sitting on the Global Social Leaders website. So do go and have a look down and see what young people are doing. Anything from saying I'm creating a clean plate challenge where they make sure that them and all their friends don't waste food, right through to some young people that created recycling for their village and then all their local villages, and actually managed to improve the recycling of their whole community and measure that. So the projects are quite wide ranging, and that's also what we want to expose the young people to understand what they could do. In terms of the challenges, we've got a range of organisations that are setting challenges to the young people to do, and different campaigns that they can do. We're not going to reveal those as yet, so they will be coming out, and we'll be announcing our challenge partners next week.
Thank you, John. Just going through, will the children be able to speak during the course, or would it be more of a listening course? So for this one specifically, it will definitely be interactive. I mean, the point that we wanted to do this program is we wanted it to be engaging and interactive. So when the young people are in their groups with their facilitators, our trained facilitators have worked with a range of students of all types, the shy ones, the ones that keep raising their hands, the ones that talk over other children. So they're trained, and they're more than, they actually really enjoy what they're doing, and they will bring out everybody's voices as much as they can digitally, because usually we do deliver these courses face to face, but we are shifting with the times. So I'm sure most of your children will be engaged during the courses. Let's see. Will you be delivering the course in small groups? Small groups, well, this will depend on how many students we receive, how many registrations we receive, and then how do we split them up. So it will all depend on that, to be honest. I can't tell you exactly. I wouldn't say small, it could be relative. How small? Small is 100, 200, maybe 50, but I can't give you an answer at the moment, unfortunately. We have to wait and see what the numbers come into, and then we can identify how many groups we split up per facilitator.
And I think a number of people have asked about the groupings. We're going to be looking to group them in age. We'll also probably do some more different groupings as well. And that's again one of the benefits of the fact that we're not face to face, moving people around campuses or different rooms. We really want them to be able to interact with our different facilitators and be able to get into different groups. They won't be able to choose which group they're in. So that was a question that was put in there. This instance, but once we get to September, if they do the global project competition, that's where they would be able to then get into a small team, small group, and then they would be able to choose who they work with in their project. But for the course, that's going to be big group and then medium groups, but we won't be getting down to very, very small groups due to the safeguarding side of things.
There's a really good question, which is, if you attend the first week of lessons, do you still have until the 31st, or will the deadline be 3 weeks after the completion of the first course?
No, you have until the 31st. And it's not a competition between people. It's up to you and your time to do it. I'm conscious that people go on for cohort 3 will have less time. But again, we're not competing against each other. They're having an experience, which we hope will all be the same. And then they have access to those challenges. They also then are going to be catalysed at the graduation to then be part of our next programme, which all starts at exactly the same time, 15th September, which then runs through to May. So please don't worry, they won't be missing out, and they'll have access to everything that everyone else has, even if they join in the later cohorts.
There was a question about more information about group discussions. How, in terms of, we discussed the numbers in terms of the groups, but in terms of how they are managed, on this platform, the Zoom platform, we have the ability to do breakout rooms. So regardless of how many students we have in the session. So for example, at the moment, we've got 289 participants in this meeting. The ability to break out people in 10 rooms and split them up, for example, 29 per room, is really easy. It's literally a click of a button and everyone gets split up. So you can have 20 people per group. You can even break them down to 10 and so forth. It will all depend on how many we have in total. So then we can identify how many facilitators we have in terms of splitting up the groups when we have the breakout sessions. But we tend to have a whole session with everyone. And then when there's specific areas that we need to break out, we will then split the groups up within the session.
Just looking at the time, I think we'll keep going, keep answering the questions. We're going to stay here. But what I suppose just want to say is, for any of you that do need to go now, just a big thank you for joining. And we will also be working down these questions. And if there is some questions we miss, we are going to send this out. And we are also going to almost share with you almost their frequently asked questions. We're also going to be putting that all together for all the parents that couldn't make it. And then we'll share that with everybody. So we do want to make sure that everyone's question gets asked. But yeah, let's stay here for a bit longer and let's keep going through as many questions as we can. But for those that do need to leave, it's fine. You are welcome to exit the room. We will not mind. And we look forward to your son or daughter joining us for their cohort. And please do watch out for the information pack that will be coming into their inbox once they've completed the code of conduct and the parent consent form. We need those two things before we offer the place and allocate them the place before we give the welcome pack. Let's go back to questions and we'll keep going. And then any questions, please do pop them in the Q&A. We will have a look through the chat, see if there's any in there that we've missed, but we might not be able to get through all of them. Back to Noor on any questions we're gonna go through now.
Okay. Hold on, let me just group.
Just to say, someone said, is this the end? It's not the end. I'm just saying those that need to go can go, because I wanted to say we're here till 7:30, but you're welcome to stay. We're going to stay here for a bit longer and keep going through Q&A. I just want to say to those that do need to leave, they can.
For everyone that's asked specifically about links to anything in this in the presentation, you will receive a copy of this presentation tomorrow, so you'll receive all of the links via email. We'll email it tomorrow. How many children will be in session? Done that. Just going down.
So how is the programme funded? By Innovate UK. They're a government-funded organisation that looked at challenges caused by COVID-19, and we applied for funding from them to say we would like to put on a course that young people could attend from home who otherwise wouldn't be able to attend a summer programme. So it is a special fund for this summer, given the situation.
In terms of the other guest speakers and the topics that they cover, you will receive an update next week and the week after in terms of who we have, who are our other guest speakers and the topics they're going to be discussing. We're just finalizing the topics with our speakers now, so we wanted to wait till that is confirmed.
We asked if an 11-year-old is eligible to join. If they're transitioning into secondary school, they would be. Be helpful to know what secondary school they're going to be going into, so we can connect with that secondary school, because we do want them to take up and get involved in the programme when they go into that school, but they would be allowed.
There's someone said, I signed up my 3 children. Can they take part on a device laptop, or do they need a device each? They can all take part, but I'm just wondering in terms of registrations, what name they're going to register under, just so we know who's attending. So maybe in the registration form they can put in the 3 names when we send that, and then that could be fine.
Yeah. And it might be that we just need an email from you just to make sure we know that one name represents all 3, because we want to make sure that they get their certificate at the end. And also, obviously, we can keep in touch on that, and it makes sense to use one device. However, if they do want to actually go and sit separately and you've got 3 devices, that's fine. It's your choice, but it would be okay, I think, to dial on one. We would just need to know about the registration, as Anor said, and that will probably be a manual conversation on email to confirm that, but we'll liaise on that direct.
Yes, Steve asked about cohort 1, if it's still available. Unfortunately, it is unavailable. We had to close it today. We've reached full capacity on that one. So I do apologize, but I really hope that the other weeks are fine and suitable for your young person.
Do you think that children can put this on their CV? Absolutely. This is a really fantastic thing for young people to share on their CV and to talk about, and the skills they developed. And then the big bit is, if they do the independent challenges, that's what employers and universities are really interested in, is what do they do as a result of going on the course. So that's where our focus really is. We want to inspire them to take actions, and then whether or not their projects work, we also encourage them to think about what they tried to do. Did it work? Didn't it work? And then submit that to us, and then that helps them think about sort of scenarios which they can then use in future on CVs and in interviews. So that's sort of, it's sort of a bit more deeper than just putting on a CV. It's almost, how do we help them get a job and develop the skills that they're going to need for that. That's how it's designed as a program. So.
I think I'm going to answer several questions here in terms of if the students will be muted or how interactive the course will be. Will it have sound, video, and so forth? No, the students will only be muted tomorrow in tomorrow's assembly. Otherwise, when the course goes live, it will be an interactive course. Students can have their video on, their sound on. Obviously, when the facilitator is speaking, they're going to let everyone know if they can mute themselves so that everyone can listen to the facilitator. And then at the point of interaction, people can start jumping in, raising their hands, and so forth.
Okay, I think we'll go maybe for 5 more minutes, stop at 7:45. And then if any questions aren't answered, again, as I said, we will be following this up and capturing all the questions that are here and making sure that they're all answered, and then sharing this with you and with everyone else. I think, Noor, when we're aiming, I think we've been asked when's that email going to come out. Do you want to share when you think?
I would say Monday would be a good time, actually, to be honest. If Monday at the latest will be when we can send all the details for this. We'll try tomorrow, because I'm just looking at these questions. We'll try as much as we can to answer all of your questions. But we can send you definitely the presentation, and we can send you the welcome pack tomorrow, and just put as frequently asked questions, as group them as much as possible as well. Yes, so tomorrow you'll receive something as well as Monday.
Question on panelists is the adults course is free of charge, and it's been put together by Katie and a number of colleagues, and is free to participate, and they have volunteered their time to do that, I believe. So.
In regards to the challenges, will my child have to attend a live session, or we'll answer this one again, for the week, or can they complete the challenges in their own time? For the first week, yes, it is live, so they will have to attend at those specific times. But for the challenges week, they can complete the challenges in their own time.
Someone's asked about a 16-year-old. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to participate. There is the National Citizen Service, which is running some online courses and programs, which is funded by government. So what we're trying to offer is for 11 to 15 at that age range, because there is that program that is running.
Will there be any homework? Will the parents be aware of it to encourage children to do it?
Home challenges, not homework. We'll be challenging them to do home challenges. So what I'd love is if they went downstairs and started helping with the recycling, and went into your garden and started upcycling some of your furniture. So hopefully they'll seek permission rather than forgiveness. And but yeah, definitely there's going to be home challenges, independent challenges, but we definitely wouldn't describe it as work. Someone just asked, I think just with the panelists, is it just an introduction, inspiration? What about the long-term learning? The great thing about this program is it's catalyzing towards the 15th of September, and then they will then be supported on a journey from September right through till May. So actually this program, whilst it's called a catalyst, it then feeds straight into a program that runs all the way through to May. And it's as big a project as they make it. We've got young people who've been working on some of the projects over years and then raising funds. And if you go and have a look at the projects that are being done, they're real life, they're making real impact in communities, and it's definitely it's definitely long-term learning that counts. Okay, well, I'm just going to go for another 2 minutes, and then we're going to be probably closing the room at that point. So let's maybe just take the last couple of questions, and then we'll say thank you to everybody for joining us this evening.
Just going to group some questions together, just with regards to tomorrow's assembly. I've just had some other questions. Tomorrow's assembly is at 9 a.m. For your children, and it will run for about 45 minutes. Similar to today's, everyone, yes, will be muted and their videos will be off. Just because it's just the assembly, and we just, in case we want to record it for any of the other students, we just want to respect that everybody else's cameras off. But on the course itself, the cameras will not be off. If this young people want to keep them off, it's up to them. It's they don't have to, and they won't be muted if they don't want to as well. That is part of the engagement and the interaction that we want during the course. Okay.
And someone asked about submitting at the end. Yeah, there's going to be an online form where they will submit what challenges they did, and then they're going to be submitting to us evidence of what they've done, and that's going to be in forms of things like photos or posters. So we'll provide them with a pack of ideas of how to do that sort of digital submission to us. Everyone that completes the course gets a certificate, and that's going to be a name certificate. We want everyone to, where possible, get a certificate and be recognised for getting involved in this. And then the challenges will then have individual certificates, and we're also, with our challenge partners, some of them will be looking at some of the, depending on the challenge partner, depends on how they want to be involved in that submission and giving feedback, and so it will depend on the challenge that they enter, and then we'll let them know what kind of submission they need to do for each challenge. They don't have to have their video and microphone on. That is a choice. And you know, as you said today, you can come in, enjoy it, and then turn those things on if that makes sense. Okay, we're on 7:45. I suppose a massive thank you. It's been absolutely wonderful to meet all of you virtually, and to see in the chat where everyone is from, and to see the richness of the questions that have been asked. We are so looking forward to meeting your sons and daughters this summer, and we really are going to put together an amazing program for them. And the speakers and partners that are lining up, I've already shared the BBC today. We'll be sharing more in the coming week, and I think they're going to be really delighted by them. I know not all of the questions have been able to be answered tonight, but I think if we try to do that, we might be here till 9 o'clock. So what we're going to do is we'll follow up afterwards, and we'll make sure that we get a Q&As out to everybody. And then you're also going to get the welcome pack, which I think will address some of the questions as well that have been shared here. And of course, you can contact us on our instant chat, 9 to 5. And also you can email our social.leaders inbox. Thank you from me.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming and attending, and appreciate all of your questions. Thanks, John, Michelle, and Katie.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Can't wait to work with your children.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.